Hey guys, Fake Lore here with another black and white UU match. This is versus shikamaru1218. This is a really long match, so sit back, relax, and just enjoy. So I'm actually gonna send out my Reggie Still first turn just to get the rocks up, and I know he's not gonna go for an EQ first turn because he wants the rocks up also. So basically, we're exchanging rocks at this point, and I need something to safely switch and onto this Don fan and hopefully check it. So I'm going to switch out and I'm going to go into my Rose Raid hoping that it can take an EQ better than it really does. But unfortunately, that's not the case and it's going to take an EQ like a bitch. So yeah, that's gonna get hurt. It's gonna do about under half, or about over half, I should say. So here I'm not gonna want to stand if you're in the ice shard. Not sure how much that'll do. So I'm gonna go into Snorlax just because it has the thick fat, and I have rocks up, so I can use some damage to a point because I can whirlwind him out because this is the whirlwind set now, and I could probably send him into his Zapdos, hopefully. That's a 1 out of 6 chance. But that's just to abuse it. So he's going to actually switch out into his Heracross, try to counter me directly. But I'm going to go for the Whirlwind, and that's going to get that thing out of my face. Worst thing you really want to do is switch out from a Whirlwind Pokemon. So he's actually going to get sent into his Zapdos, which is just awesome because that means I can wall the shit out of this thing, and I got some extra damage up on it. So here I know he's going to go for a Roost, so I do believe I go for a Body Slam, trying to get some paralysis on it just to make it easier for my Heracross to KO it instead of like trying to rely on my Medicham. So yeah, I go for the Body Slam. Unfortunately, it does do quite a bit, yeah, but I do not get the paralysis, so he's going to switch out, and I believe I predict this, and I go for a Whirlwind again, so yeah, he's going to go into his Don fan trying to take the Body Slam, which it doesn't have to because I'm going for a Whirlwind. And he's going to get sent his Crobat, another thing he has weak to rocks, which is just awesome with me. But Crobat here gives me a ton of fits. I swear to God, it's just hard to handle. So he's going to go for a Super Fang just to cut my health in half straight from the start. Not something I really wanted. So I'm going to go for a Body Slam, get some paralyzation on something. But I don't get paralyzation on this either. So, yeah, that's not that awesome. So basically, I'm in an okay position, not really, but he's gonna keep going for Super Fang just until he could get me low enough to a Brave Bird can kill me, because that's basically what these sets try to do. And after this third Body Slam, I still don't get any paralysis. Wow. 30% chance is not seeming that likely anymore. So now I'm going to have to switch out to Registeel just because the Brave Bird is a bit obvious, and I need something to take it, and basically that's what Registeel does best, taking attacks it resists. So here, this is my best chance to directly get it on paralysis. So here I'm going to predict him to try to taunt me, and I'm just going to go for an Iron Head, and he does taunt me, and I do hit him with an Iron Head, I do believe, yeah. So since I'm slower so far, I won't be able to get any flinch hacks, but that just barely misses out on a KO, unfortunately. So here I know he's going to probably want to Roost, but I'm going to have to keep going for Iron Head because T-Wave is locked out due to taunt. So he's going to Roost up, and I'm going to keep going for Iron Head, and so yeah. And this Iron Head is not going to do much at all, just because Crobat is okay in the defenses and Registeel is not the best there. So in the attacking, I should say. So yeah, he's going to go for a Super Fang just to cut my damage in half, and this thing is just annoying because I really want this thing dead. So I'm going to switch up moves just to see how much I could get, if it's like more or less. I honestly don't know because all I really have to look at is that little bar, so not very reliable. So my taunt's going to wear off finally, and I know I could probably T-Wave him. I was expecting him to go for another taunt, so that's why I went for another Iron Head here. No, I went for another Seismic Toss just because I expected him to taunt. So here, I know he's above half. He's not really going to taunt me again, so I'm going to go for a safe T-Wave here. That's great. So he's going to go for another Super Fang just to try to cut me down more. I'm not really that bad against these Super Fangs, but it's not something I really want to keep taking. So, yeah. Now he's T-Waved. I could probably Iron Head flinch him to death if he doesn't switch out. So yeah, I'm gonna go for an Iron Head, and that's gonna hit him fairly well. I say too much. Yeah. So he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get flinched, and that's gonna do fine. But I don't get any paralyzation. But It's like a natural reaction. So I'm going to go for another Iron Head. That's going to do quite a small amount. He's probably the defensive set. So that basically means I'm going to have to switch out to another counter. But I can't switch directly into my Rose Rage just because that thing's going to die very fast. So I'm going to switch in my Gligar just to get some Toxic off on it. That'll do the best. And I know his 4 times super effective Rapid Spin. Not Rapid Spin. Ice Shard won't even do much to me because he's a defensive set. And still, that's not too much base power and all. So yeah, this Ice Shard won't do really much at all. Wow. So I'm going to miss this Toxic. Not the best thing in the world. He's going to get his lefty's recovery. So I'm not in the best position now just because I missed the Toxic. I wanted that thing's Toxic. And he's going to switch in his chance. He's just trying to escape any kind of Toxic just because it has the Magic Cure. And I know I can wreck this thing with either Heracross or Metacham. More or less Heracross because I can guarantee that's going to one-shot it just because the choice band. So he's going to go for Seismic Tosses even after I taunted it, making it useless. Not what I expected. So he's going to keep going for Seismic Toss. And that's actually not a very good matchup even after taunted for my Gligar. So I'm going to have to switch out, and I'm just going to go for a close combat just to be safe, and I want to see how much this can do to Donphan. That doesn't even do half. That is about 1/3 3-hit KO, I should say. So, yeah. I'm going to have to switch out fearing a KO after -2 if I went and stayed with whatever it's called, close combat. So he's going to go for an Ice Shard trying to pick me off for damage. Yeah. But I'm just going to switch into Gligar, which walls it pretty damn fine. So, I believe he's going to have to switch out, which he does. And he's going to go into his Zapdos while I go for a Roost or a Toxic. One of those two. I believe I go for the Toxic. No, I go for the Roost just to be safe. And the reason he said he sent this in here is because he expected that he had the HP Ice, but as it turns out, it's the Hidden Power Grass. So that is fortunate for me. I just stayed in because I can take HP Ices even from a Life Orb Jolteon. So I'm not very fearful, but yeah. So I'm going to get the Toxic off of that thing, and he's not in a very good position, but he's going to go for the Heat Wave anyway, just to get some extra damage on me, and that's going to do a nice chunk, actually, and I'm going to have to roost off the damage here. No, I go for an EQ expecting him to roost off himself, just so I can hit him for some super effective damage. So here I know I need Gligar for later, so I'm just going to switch into Snorlax, just to take a Heat Wave, or anything really, and basically sack it. So he's going to go for a Hidden Power, but after Life Orb and the Toxic damage, he's basically dead, so I'm in a very good position. But not to save my Snorlax, that thing's going to have to go. So it was a good sponge as it was, but I can't rest up in any sort of case very well. So, yeah. So Chansey's going to come in. I'm going to have to find a way to kill this thing off. So I'm just going to let Snorlax die, and I'm going to bring in either Metacham or, no, I'm going to bring in Gligar just to taunt it, so it goes for Seismic Tosses. Oh, yes, and to roost off here just to keep myself safe, and preparation for any other Poke you might want to send in, such as this Ambipom, which turns out to be a fake out last resort type thing, so that's okay for me. So he's going to keep going for Seismic Tosses, and I'm just going to roost up until I'm at a proper amount of health, even after Seismic Toss. So that's pretty good for me. So basically, we're just at a bit of stall match. I'm going to probably speed this up or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a really roost stall type thing. Not that awesome. So I don't really have much to say because this is going to go on for like a few wild turns. I don't know how long exactly. So yeah, now I'm going to switch on my Metacham just because I'm good enough now. And, yeah, the Seismic Toss is going to hit me. It's going to bring me decently low because Metacham doesn't have a great HP stat, but I'm going to have to switch out, predicting his switch into his Donphan, not his Crobat, but he's going to go into his Crobat anyway, and, no, he's going to go his Donphan. I expected some other switch. I expected him to go for any other switch or type thing, just because I know I can get a rest off or anything. But here I should have risked it, and I should have went for a Giga Drain, seeing that I really can't be KO'd by much of this poke. So, oh well. He's going to go for an Ice Shard, and that's not going to do much at all to Registeel, because Registeel is a defensive pimp. So, yeah, he's going to get his lefty's recovery. Yeah, I don't really want this thing alive well, so, yeah, I'm gonna have to get this thing out of my face, and I'm gonna switch out. Probably gonna go for the earthquake, and I'm gonna go back into Gligar, and I'm starting to run low on roosts just because yeah, I wasted a lot of them on Chansey. So yeah, I'm gonna have to roost up here as he's gonna switch out, and he's gonna go into his Chansey again. This thing just walls the shit out of my Gligar, even though I could taunt it. I swear to God. So I'm gonna poison Chansey, which is good because it'll provoke him to switch earlier than we really would have, and I'm gonna get a free roost up, not free roost, but I'm gonna get a roost up here, and he's just gonna go for a seismic toss, not even trying to help his team out. So that's pretty good for me. And here I'm going to go for an earthquake, I believe, just to see how much damage I can do. But he's going to go switch out. He's going to go into his Crobat just to dodge an EQ, I do believe. But he's actually going to get taunted. So this is okay because he can't roost up. But since he can't roost up, I can't really EQ him. But it doesn't matter because he's slower. So I'm going to roost off here. And I do believe he's going to get a Super Fang off. So yeah, he's gonna go Super Fang, and then this thing, I swear to God, it doesn't even get paralyzed once this match. It's kind of weird. So I'm gonna have to switch out, not in the best condition. So I'm gonna go to Rose Rage because I know he's gonna Super Fang again, probably instead of going for a Brave Bird. So yeah, I'm going to be able to kind of rest up here since he's paralyzed. I'm going to hope to God he gets some Parahax finally, but no, his taunt's going to wear off, or at least roost. So I'm going to get a rest off, and I'm just going to basically try to do what I can. So this Roserade is going to get back to full health, thank God, but he's going to actually get out of it. No paralyzation again yet, and he's going to bring me down to 4 HP single-handedly with a Brave Bird. So, yeah. Not the best thing ever. I swear to God, this thing needs to learn to get some hacks. So I'm going to switch out just because I know Roserade's useless at this point. Can't survive a rock switch. And, yeah, it's pretty much screwed there. So I'm going to save it later for fodder. And I'm going to bring in Gligar just to roost up. While he can try to hurt me, I don't think he can KO me at this point. But, it's a good try for him. So I'm going to roost up. And I'm just going to get my health preserved. And, yeah, this thing's gonna keep going for Brave Birds, which is okay because it whittles his health and it doesn't really cost me anything. So I can roost up and basically stall him out of Brave Birds if I wanted to. So he's gonna switch into his Chansey again because he knows that's the best thing to counter my own Pokemon. But here I'm probably gonna take advantage of him and just try to wreck his shit. And yeah, so I'm gonna go for a Toxic again, but I miss, of course I miss, obviously. Why do I? Well, I should always miss. That's just, no, that's not good. That's not good enough. No, I should have missed that Toxic. So he's gonna get a Wish, and I know the switch to Medicham is a bit obvious, so I'm gonna. Not his switch to Crobat is obvious, so I'm going to switch to Medicham, and I'm going to be able to take it out with a Psycho Cut, and that's cool. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to proceed to do, and I'm trying to focus on my phone, so yeah, don't mind me. I'm going to take it out, and that is a dead Crobat. Finally, because I didn't want this thing alive anyway in the first place. It's annoying the shit out of me, and he's going to go to John Cena. And I know Fake Out's coming, so I'm going to switch into my Gligar, because that's the best thing I have to take it besides Registeel, but Registeel will die anyway, so it don't matter. So, yeah. So it's going to take it fairly well, but then the last resort comes, and that's going to do a nice chunk. But I can roost stall him out, but I don't have too many roosts left. I have about 6 at this point, I do believe. And yeah, not the best stalling position. So he's going to keep going for last resorts, and I know I'm going to have to sack something just to get my Medicham safely into not close combat, but to high jump kick the shit out of it. So yeah, that's how that's going to work, and I'm going to switch out now, and I'm going to go into my Registeel just to take a, whatever it's called, Last Resort, and, so this Last Resort's going to do quite enough to KO. Wow, that's quite a bit of power. I don't know what he's running, maybe, like hell he'd run Expert Belt, but, I don't know what kind of, he's probably running leftovers. So he's going to go to Donphan, and I'm just going to throw out a high jump kick, and this high jump kick will bring it low enough so where it's a 2-shot. So I'm just going to stay in and go for another high jump kick just because that's going to KO. And he's actually going to go for an Ice Shard knowing that I'm going to stay in and kill it. planning to KO him, and I just barely miss out on the 69, unfortunately, but I will be able to KO that Don fan. So he's gonna go back under John Cena, and I know I have a few things to take it, and one of those things being my Rose Raid that I could sack. And so that's what I'm gonna proceed to do now. This is why I basically kept the Rose Raid. So his fake out's not is basically gonna be nullified. I'm gonna send back in Metacham, and I'm gonna spam a high jump kick on him. So he's gonna withdraw, decide to sack his Heracross now, and basically it's gonna be able to survive, but it's gonna survive like by not too much because it does a nice chunk, to be quite honest. So yeah, I'm gonna go into Gligar just to wall the shit out of Heracross. The main reason I run Gligar over basically Slowbro with this kind of combination of Registeel and Gligar is basically for things like what do you call it? Heracross, yeah, but what's the other one? I don't even remember. It's one of the new trio. It's not Terrakion, Virizion, Cobalion. There you go. Just to wall that because it walls way better than any Slowbro. Because basically what I'm looking for is to be able to KO it after it's done with a close combat. And since those things usually expect Slowbros, so they pack the X-Scissor, Gligar just walls any basic set. So yeah, that's actually fairly reason why I do the Gligar Registeel instead of Slowbro, and they actually carry the same amount of like resistances and stuff, so they're a really good combination. So I'm gonna go into Gligar at this point just to wall the shit out of Heracross, and he's gonna go for a Stone Edge trying to kill me off, and so that's not what it's gonna happen. And he's gonna go for another. If it did the same exact damage as the other one did, I would have survived at 1 HP. But we don't know because blah. So he's gonna miss a second one. That is quite unfortunate for him. And I'm gonna be able to get another hit off on this thing. So he's gonna go for Stone Edge once more, and that's gonna bring me down to about a bit above half. So that is a dead Heracross. It's not like it was a threat anymore anyway. So he's just gonna go into John Cena, and I'm gonna sack my own Heracross just to get rid of this damn thing, which I will do. And basically now that all I have left is Gligar and my own Metacham. So I'm gonna send a Metacham at this point, just high jump kick and KO. So this is a good game. Wow, this was a long match, hard to narrate, but I will talk to you later, guys. Fake glory out. So yeah, comment, like, and subscribe.